Top-up time here, Saturday morning, the first of the 10 race cards, the first of the midways. Good morning, Glenn. We've got a start in less than an hour and a half. It's an 11 o'clock start, breakfast at Rosehill.
Yeah, it does seem silly programming to me. I saw Matt Taylor was kind or clever enough to tweet that why can't these midways be on Wednesday when we have like 6-horse race meetings lately? So
yeah,
makes sense to me.
No, it's all about Saturdays, unfortunately. TQ did write into Racing New South Wales saying, why not have highways and midways on Wednesdays? And Matt may have picked up from TQ there. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. In fact, why not have some sort of progression? So you've actually got a feed from those midweek races into these Saturday races. So, you could almost have them. You could have them week on, week off, couldn't you?
Could you imagine going to the races today? I know we're barred for another week or so, but and having to be out there like someone like me, I've got to be out there at 9:45. Get a table, get a sit up.
I know.
Seems early, doesn't it?
Well, it's a Melbourne Cup Day style situation, isn't it?
Anyway, whinge. That's what we seem to do a little bit with this Racing New South Wales, but we'll get them right one day.
Well, look, I think the problem is that you're going to program 150 horses on a Wednesday and a third of them disappear. It's what's the point of the build up? And if you have to wait till Saturday morning to actually get your thoughts together. Anyway.
And the funniest thing about all this, Mark, is I know it's on there. The funniest thing about all this, Mark, is the people that make these decisions. They go to the races once a year.
I know. Scott Kennedy. When do you see him at the races?
When have you ever seen any of them? Over the years.
At least the chief steward does get to the races every day, and we'll have plenty to talk about in relation to the chief steward and our leading jockeys, as profiled on the Current Affair on Monday. That's a big story. Yeah. Well, it's a story anyway. So we'll get on to that for the rant on Monday. And those of you that haven't seen the rant, you really should, because it's our flagship program. And not only does it contain a lot of insightful review of the races themselves, but insightful commentary as to life itself, mainly provided by the other gentleman on the screen there, Mr. Glenn Pollock.
Oh, not really. We've all got something to add.
Anyway,
I do think outside the square a bit.
All right, so race one, Tycoon is just sitting there. Hello, number one's $949 at $2.40. I would forecast this horse would trade more around the $3 mark, despite there's only being 7 runners. There would be a build-up of.
Not looking at that market, won't?
No, that market. But I mean, we've seen some of the shenanigans that happen in the early Betfair markets. Anyway.
That looks particularly firm, though, doesn't it?
It does, but it's hard to imagine. But it's hard to imagine being, well, the shortest. Let's say the shortest you can market, Glenn, is 7 to 4.
Oh, I agree with you, Mark. But you just said that it'll trade around $3. But just looking at the evidence, you got to also remember we're an hour and a half out.
I know
this isn't the market 4 hours away.
Fairly close. Let's wait and see. Hey, just waiting.
Bit interested in number 3 there, but it looks terribly. It looks terribly unwanted.
Right. I'm just waiting for the standard move on Bazooka. So wait and see on that one.
It looks to be like heading south already.
Race 2 is the highway, and Hellenism is our favourite there. 4,000 matched at the low 3s. There has been a trickle for Night Driver number 14. And what else is there to say about this race? Well, obviously there are a few resumers. The favourite has been well set up with a Saturday run and a midweek run, back to a provincial race here. So and an 1,100 metre winner in the highways in a previous lifetime. T. Clark, an obvious go-to. So we'll see what he can do with it. But yet again, I would have said more like 7 to 2 than 5 to 2.
That is great.
Right. Race 3, the 1.5 mile race. No compromise. Back up to a 1.5 mile here. Admit it is the second pick.
Not a lot of money trading on no compromise for a 6 to 4 chance at this time of day.
Well, everyone's still eating their breakfast, aren't they? It's hard to get into gear.
Yeah, it is hard to get into gear. I agree with that. Admit it's the horse guys that wait in light. So when you look at its form, it just has a. What do they put next to it?
It's helpful, isn't it? It's helpful.
It drives you mad. Especially for the person who is, say, a Saturday only punter, and and probably misses 2 a month because the missus drives you mad to go shopping to IKEA or something. But he wouldn't know what that form meant.
Yes. But don't worry, the stewards, they, in their infinite wisdom, they say these are the rules of racing, and the form guide has to reflect the rules of racing. It doesn't. Like the form guide
stewards are
doesn't.
getting under your skin all of a sudden, M. Lambourne.
Oh no, they always get under my skin. All right, that's a 1.5 mile race. No compromises race to lose as far as I'm concerned. We get into a very competitive race. The 1100 3-year-old Magic Ruler is a firmer here. What did we see yesterday, Glenn, before you were all over it? Something well into double figures.
Yeah, well, I think it was $17, and we were, you know, we both sort of tipped it on top and said, "Why is this $17?" Like,
it's now $8.50 best fixed.
Okay, another reason why you should be getting involved with our preview shows if you want to bet early.
There's no real activity there. I think maybe given the makeup of the field, you want to see a bit of pattern emerge from the first 2 races, perhaps not the 1.5 mile race. I did suggest to you off air that we're dealing with 44 scratchings, and some of these scratchings are map driven because the owners of Miss J Fox, who led them up in the lead up and ran well, she's an honest little thing, but they pulled them in New South Wales maps out, and they have the horse 3 deep in the second line, and obviously going, well, we should scratch.
Yeah, the maps have been wonderful for Racing New South Wales.
Anyway, that is a very competitive race. Yeah. And Gord's tip there, Ibaraki, with Jay Ford up. It doesn't look that fancied either, does it? I mean,
no,
for
it
a horse
certainly
that started,
doesn't.
was red hot on debut, admittedly in a much weaker race.
$100 trade on at the moment. Wow.
Okay.
I keep getting it's early. Kinlock looks like it's going to get out to a backable price to me. And if Six Gun gets, to $9, I mean, I think that's a fair price.
Yeah, although he's been particularly tame. His run 2 starts back in the Saturday race, 1200, when stepping up from the 1000. Was adequate. He then went back to 1,000, which is no good, going back from 1,200, and now he gets perhaps his preferred track conditions. It is D-Day for Six Gun. Race 5 is the time-honoured Midway, where our Bellagio Miss is very firm, a bit shorter fixed odds than she is there. 18.50 traded, and obviously trading in the mid threes there. She is something like $2.80 fixed. $2.90 for a horse with no 1,100 metre creds recently.
It seems tight.
Yeah, but it's look, a last start Saturday runner, T Berry. It's had 1 run back. Greg Hickman, he is a little doer, isn't he? What about what he did with John Sargent's horse? Get the idea on Wednesday. Just resumed it at home, and it was potent fresh.
Never going to lose, really.
Never going to lose. He is a sterling tradesman, I must say, Greg Hickman.
Yeah, we still both like Switched.
Still unswitched, and there's a trickle there for Kawakini. She's
saw that.
She is 41 into 17,
and I'm not on,
and won't be on because you've given up. You've given up that stuff, haven't you?
Well, no, I sort of fell back in love yesterday at the $41, but I've missed the boat here.
Yeah.
Mind you, the good thing about death riding Jason Coyle horses is as soon as they jump, they're 10 lengths away, so it's not too hard to do.
You can get on them in play. Race 6 is the 1500. It's the only 88 for the day. The rest of them are lower grades, and it is a bloody beauty they've put together here. Some horses, obviously primed in Canasta and in hot form. Oscar Zulu, Cisco Bay, new arrangement returned well, only up 1.5 stone. Grand Piano with Nash and the little mare down the bottom. It's
and Grand Piano looks like it's firmed overnight, Mark. Is that right?
It does look short there, doesn't it? I suppose in relation to new arrangement, it is only 650. What price did I first put down? No, about that. I can't say that it's actually moved. Nope.
Oh, okay. It just looks pretty tight there on the fair. Like that doesn't, like I think I had a 5th pick when I was doing the form, but thought it could win.
Well, Cisco Bay is now favourite, and was the horse you were all over yesterday, and it is $5 into 370.
Yesterday I was 9, 7, 8, 5, won. So it's hard for me to take $6.50 about number one if I've got a fifth pick, even though I give it a chance.
Yeah, it is a really, it's a good Saturday race of old, really, with the 5 chances. Okay, the 1500 here.
We're halfway through the meeting, Mark.
We're getting, I'm starting to get
I might miss the first from Mounting our mail.
Le Chevalier with Louise Day's favourite here. Papal Warrior is firm off the breakthrough win up in distance. And Carpdiv is a firmer here, a horse that I had pegged as a no-hoper, a typical Hawks horse that starts odds on its first start and manages to grind out a win somewhere. But it is into, I think, $10 from something like 26. Yes. So that's your mover and shaker there. But someone says, "Oh, forget that, silly bookies. 60. You can have a threepence on it, $16 with me." There it is. Anyway, this is a bit of an opaque race, Glenn, because I've got problems with the favourite coming back in distance with the rider and the likely map. But that doesn't necessarily help.
A dog's breakfast, Mark. I see that Bubba looks like it's shortened up a little bit too.
It has. People, either the Friday show's got a leak or they're actually watching you. Race 8 is, well, look at this, down to 6. It's amazing, isn't it? Both the 1300s got badly cut
each way best bet of the day was Epic Dam. Now we can't back it each way. What a beauty. Well, I mean, you can.
All right. Be interesting.
I don't have much luck with that paying one too.
Be interesting to see the tactics on Taxu here, who's with the blinkers back on, and it is the contester for pace with Vitesse, who, she's got to be one of the most ordinary Saturday horses around, that what you see is exactly what you get. I see that there's money for Starler, despite Gord poo-pooing her on sticky tracks.
Well, she's going to be closer today. She's not going to be that far off them, I suppose.
The narrative would be that the small field assists her.
Yeah, she can pick up a sprint, so maybe that's the narrative. But
yeah.
Anyway,
I'm a bit scared of her. Yeah.
Epic Dan's race to lose, I think. I still like it.
There you go, another Greg Hickman. All right, race 9. We're nearly there. 1800 metres, Wicklow. How long will it trade? It seems like an even money chance to me. Not a lot happening at this point. The whale in the bay here is Maserati Bay, which I didn't even consider. We didn't talk about on the preview show. Let's say I've marked it 14s. It has got your boyfriend on board, Kay Latham, from gate 1, which is there's not much wrong with that at the 1800 metre start. But has it got any form? It's a shipper, obviously, and they can.
Well, I would have marked it a bit longer than 14s.
Well,
be excited. Look, this favourite will win. It's going to be exciting to watch a horse go around with 66 kilos. So I'm looking forward to
it. Yeah. So
I might be able to ride if I trim down for a week.
You might be indeed. Yeah, I remember seeing Maserati Bay. Now, obviously, it's got Mara and Eustace. We're always wary of Mara and Eustace, but it didn't have a Melbourne city win to its credit. It's got all provincial wins. Well, I call them country down there. So anyway, remains to be seen. Lakeen is firm there. Hasn't it missed its chance? It's
it's missed its chance more than once, hasn't it?
Well, I suppose it's had a break between runs twice, and both time over 2000, it comes back to 1800 here. But I think they've mapped it outside the lead. It's got a chance because it's got a profile, but it's hard to like. Anyway,
favourites race to lose.
And the lucky last, what do we got here? It's been cut about. Expat is your favourite, not quite as short as 250. I had it down to with deductions. It is currently trading at 260 with Sportsbet, and it's hard to identify where it's sitting there. Betfair, Steel Diamond, bit of love there on the fair. Miss Einstein is the firmer. It is into $5 best.
One of the better wet trackers in New South Wales.
Well, remember this time last year, she was a red hot favourite and went missing. She was losing off the hot preparation previously, but it would seem that she's Baker's in form. She's come back with a little bit of a spring in her step, and she's got track conditions to suit. So I can see the love there. I tell you what, St Cuthbert Spirit is way too long there. I know that J-Mac rode it last start and it missed its chance, but it's just going to poke around there and be present.
Hard to mark it longer than about 10 to 1 in this race.
Anyway, that's the top-up show. It is it's a bloody big, giant 10-race card. Obviously,
it's a gala.
We've lost the sunny coast, so that's that assists Rosehill. So all hands on deck. We'll be lining up for the first in an hour or so's time, and you should be well. That means D Dwyer is about to put his prices up. If you're a ranter, you can get on to win 5 at his prices. And if you haven't opened an account with him before, chuck 500 in there and he'll pay your first 4 weeks of rant sub. So in cash. He's a bookie that's a pleasure to do business with. And this joint is a pleasure to be involved with because we're a community of like-minded racing enthusiasts that want to get amongst it and want to pull apart, deconstruct and really call a spade, which it's
our own therapy home.
Well, that's right. So
pull it apart, look at it, turned upside down, work out what we did wrong as well as everybody else.
Yeah. Anyway, get amongst it. We'll see you back here on Monday for a comprehensive review of this program and anything else that's going around. So we hope to see you then.
See ya.